Good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Schilling. I'm the CTO of mTusker. Today, we're going to talk about service inventory. Service inventory is where you would store your various technical information about a contract that you may have. If it's a carrier contract, you would store all your IP addresses and information along those lines, IP addresses, whatever. If it's a IT contract, you might store the technical information and the assets that you have deployed there. So let's just dive right in. I'm here at the home page. I'm going to select service inventory. I want to just jump down to manage inventory, which is where we have the actual listings. All right, so I have a few here. Now, before I really start to dive in, we have these things up here called AUDFs. And AUDF, that stands for Advanced User Defined Field. And you'll see why here shortly. So let's just first open one. I have some samples right here, so I'll just open this one here. Now, on the top part of the screen, we have your basic key information. We have the account, or it might be a sub-account, the provider that might be associated with the information below, the inventory name, okay, the start date and end date. What's nice is that you can always write workflow to tell you when this might be coming up to 6 months or 90 days until it's over. So you'll be reminded that you have a contract ready for renewal. Now, what you see here on these screens are fields that have been defined to go over here, such as circuit ID information, DID numbers, and who they're associated with, circuit, like circuit IDs, and you can create many ways of looking at these things. Here's IP addresses, whatnot. So they're just fields, and then these fields that go on these screens are organized as a group. In other words, kind of a group of fields. This particular group that makes up this particular page is called FlexIP. I do know that this particular account has one contract with Integra, and it has another contract. This one is with, it's also with Integra, but this one is a hosted voice. So notice that the screens and the data associated with are completely different from one to the next. So now, how do we actually create these? Well, first of all, let's have a look at the AUDF, Advanced User Defined Fields themselves. Now, it does take some time, so we at mTusker will prime about 400 of them for you. They can take anywhere from, could be a tile to a phone number to a drop-down table. They can be numeric, they can be currency, little spreadsheet tables and whatnot. So just to look at one, so I'll say, let's just do an add new. So you would give it a name, you would give it a category. A category might be IP addresses, it might be spreadsheet tables. You just give it a variety of categories. And that way it's a little easier to organize them when you're actually creating the group. Description, of course. Now what you could do is you can create text, numeric, currency, dates, phones, emails, spreadsheet tables. We'll talk a little bit about those because they're pretty important. Actually create drop-down tables. So that way when you're building your data, you can actually have a drop-down table and select it. Encrypted text, IP addresses, whatnot. So that's the how you would create these fields, display size and length. If I look at a spreadsheet table, a little unique, this type of field says, okay, this one has one column, but if I had 3 columns, then this would be the column headers, and this would be the data that goes underneath those headers. Now we've set it up so that you can have a total of 6 columns across. If you get too wide, it just doesn't fit very well. I'm going to hit cancel. All right, now this next bit, categories, is just, set up some categories to help organize these things. So this is a customer info. If I open it, then these are the fields that I have associated with customer info, passwords, service addresses, and whatnot. So you take each of these fields, give it a category, and now these categories help you organize these things. Now, the key bits here. So let's go to AUDF groups. What we were looking at before was this group called FlexIP. So I'm going to open this thing. All right. Now, this particular where it says contract details, that's a title AUDF. And then we have various different fields within there. So it's not particularly difficult access. Here are the categories that we had. There's quite a few of them here because we have 400 plus fields for you to work with. Then you say, all right, so then you would just drag one of these into this hole, and then you'd have account codes there. I don't want to do that right now. I'm going to hit cancel. So these fields that you see here, right? Yes, I want to leave. They become the fields that are displayed here. Now, one more thing before I drop off here. See this particular box? This is the CRM user-defined fields. In the CRM, we give you the ability to create some basic user-defined fields. And you have a way to bring some of them into your service inventory, and they would fit in this box on the top left in a little bit of a different color. So that is how you would create a user-defined service inventory group. Very flexible. You can set these up however you wish, whatever you want to put in here. You can, along with the 400 fields that we automatically give you, you can always add more if you so choose to do so. On the top up here, you can just jump to the account. You can take a quick look at the data associated with the account. You can create a ticket against this, which is nice. If you know for sure that you have an issue with Integra and you've got a couple of different circuits or a couple of different inventories, you can write a specific ticket to go here. You can add tasks, and you can view your tasks associated with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention.